Well, as we're approaching the end of our growing season, I wanted to take a look at some of the plants that have done very well for us here at the Studio Gardens. And one of the annuals, or groups of annuals, that have done quite well are the Mexican petunias. It's Ruellia bretoniana, and the form that we're most familiar with is this tall, purple-flowered form. And it really is a very nice vertical accent in the garden. We have these beautiful, long, lance-shaped leaves, and the stems are actually kind of a dark purple color, especially here at the nodes. We also have beautiful purple petunia looking flowers, and it's a very good plant for a sunny location. Now, the plant likes to have moist soil. However, once it's established, it can take a drier soil. Now, when I say moist soil, a lot of people actually use this Mexican petunia as a bog garden plant. So it is a very versatile plant in the garden. Now again, we do have this vertical look. It gets about 4 feet tall. However, in some areas where it can overwinter, I've seen it get 7 to 8 feet tall. It's just a huge plant, but for us, about 4 feet is pretty good. And you can cut it back after it's flowering and you'll get another flush of bloom, and also that can help keep it a little bit shorter. Now, if you like the purple color, but you don't want to plant quite this tall, you could try planting Katy, which is the dwarf Katy Ruellia, and it is a very small, compact plant. You, again, get the beautiful purple flowers. However, it's very compact, and we'll look at another plant very soon that's very much like that. Now, if you don't like the purple flowers, but you'd like to have pink, I've got one to show you here. Now this cultivar is Chi-Chi, and it has, instead of the purple flower, we have a beautiful pink flower on it with almost a very dark pink throat on our flower. So if you'd like a lighter looking color, Chi-Chi would be a good cultivar to plant. We still have this upright growing foliage and our nice dark green leaves. It doesn't get quite as tall as the regular Ruellia. It only gets about 3 feet tall, and as you look at it, it is just a little bit more compact and bushy. So this tends to be just a little bit better behaved plant. But we've got one more to look at that is very well behaved. Now this is Bonita Pink Ruellia, and remember I talked about Katy being nice and dwarf. Well, this is the pink form of the dwarf Ruellia, and it is just a wonderful plant. We've got this beautiful compact plant, wonderful spiked leaves, and we've got those pretty pink flowers on it, but it only gets about 12 inches tall and about, a 1.5 feet wide. So we've got this nice clump right here, and it works very well as an edging on the front of the border. You could use your taller Ruellias on the back part of the border and use your smaller dwarf Ruellias on the front part of the border. Now they're hardy anywhere from zone 7 to 8 to zone 10. Which means in our area, some years our Ruellias will overwinter, especially if you mulch them. However, some of them will reseed, and they really are just a wonderful annual. Now again, they like moist soil, and they like full sun to part sun, and their flowering is really tied to light. So if we have a string of cloudy days, they're not going to flower. And I've got an example right here where in the beginning of the year, they were in the sun, but now they're starting to be shaded by our butylon, and you can see here that we don't have as much flowering on our Ruellia as we do on the ones in the corner there where they get full sun. So think about that when you're situating them, to be sure to get them about a half-day sun so you'll get good flowering on them.
We hope you've enjoyed this classic from the Oklahoma Gardening Vault. Remember, even though these tips and techniques are timeless, there's always something new to learn in the world of gardening. By subscribing to both Oklahoma Gardening and OK Gardening Classics, you'll have access to a wealth of gardening knowledge, both classic and contemporary.